Japan, the country where ancient traditions meet the future. Imagine a country where ancient temples stand beneath futuristic skyscrapers, where bullet trains can travel at incredible speeds, while centuries-old traditions are still practiced, where neon lights fill the streets of Tokyo, cherry blossoms cover entire parks in spring, and snow-covered mountains rise above peaceful villages. This is Japan, a country that has fascinated the world for generations. Japan is famous for technology, anime, sushi, samurai, Mount Fuji, bullet trains, and enormous cities. But Japan is much more than these famous images. Behind the modern buildings is a deep history. Behind the busy streets are quiet temples. And behind the technology is a culture built around discipline, respect, craftsmanship, and tradition. Today, we're taking a journey across Japan to discover its history, culture, cities, food, nature, and the incredible way this country connects the past with the future. Welcome to Japan. Where is Japan? Japan is an island country located in East Asia, in the Pacific Ocean. It lies east of China and the Korean Peninsula and consists of thousands of islands. The four main islands are Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku. Japan's geography is incredibly diverse. There are huge cities, tropical islands, forests, beaches, volcanoes, mountains, and snowy regions. The country is also located along the Pacific Ring of Fire, an area known for significant volcanic and earthquake activity. This has shaped Japanese architecture, culture, and everyday life. Japan's capital and largest metropolitan area is Tokyo. But Tokyo is only one part of the story. To understand Japan, we have to travel beyond the skyscrapers. The history of Japan. Japan has one of the world's most fascinating histories. For thousands of years, communities developed across the Japanese islands. Over time, powerful clans and political leaders competed for influence. One of the most famous periods was the Age of the Samurai. The samurai were warriors who became an important part of Japanese society. They were associated with loyalty, discipline, martial skills, and a strict code of conduct. For centuries, Japan was ruled by military governments known as shogunates. During this period, powerful samurai families controlled large areas of the country. Castles were built across Japan, and cities developed around political and economic centers. One of the most famous symbols of this period is the Japanese sword, or katana. But the samurai were not the only important part of Japanese history. Japan also developed extraordinary traditions in art, tea ceremony, calligraphy, architecture, gardening, and theater. Then came a major turning point. In the 19th century, Japan began rapidly transforming. During the Meiji period, the country modernized its military, education, industry, transportation, and government. Japan went from a largely traditional society to a modern industrial power in a remarkably short period. The transformation changed almost every part of Japanese life. And Japan's journey into the modern world had begun. Tokyo. Now let's travel to Tokyo. Tokyo feels almost like a city from the future. Millions of people move through its streets every day. Towering buildings rise above busy intersections. Huge electronic screens illuminate the streets. Trains arrive and leave with remarkable frequency. And yet, hidden between all this modernity are quiet shrines, traditional gardens, and historic neighborhoods. One of Tokyo's most recognizable areas is Shibuya. The famous Shibuya crossing has become one of the symbols of modern Japan. When the traffic lights change, enormous crowds cross the intersection from every direction. Nearby, you'll find shopping centers, restaurants, cafes, entertainment, and some of the latest Japanese fashion. Another famous district is Akihabara. For decades, Akihabara has been associated with electronics, gaming, manga, anime, and Japanese pop culture. But Tokyo also has a quieter side. Visit a traditional shrine, walk through a peaceful garden, or explore an old neighborhood, and suddenly the enormous city feels completely different. This contrast is one of Tokyo's greatest attractions. It can feel futuristic and ancient at the same time. Mount Fuji. Few sites represent Japan better than Mount Fuji. At approximately 3,776 meters, Mount Fuji is Japan's highest mountain. Its nearly symmetrical shape has inspired artists, photographers, poets, and travelers for centuries. For many people, seeing Mount Fuji is an unforgettable part of visiting Japan. The mountain is also culturally significant. It has long been associated with spirituality and pilgrimage. During clear weather, its snow-covered peak can be seen from areas around the surrounding region and, under favorable conditions, from parts of Tokyo. But Mount Fuji isn't simply a beautiful mountain. It is also a volcano. Its most recent major eruption occurred in 1707. Today, Mount Fuji remains one of Japan's most recognizable natural landmarks. Whether viewed from a distance or explored up close, it represents the powerful relationship between Japanese culture and nature. Kyoto. If Tokyo represents modern Japan, Kyoto represents another side of the country. Kyoto served as Japan's imperial capital for more than 1,000 years. Today, the city is famous for temples, shrines, traditional architecture, gardens, and historic streets. One of the most recognizable sites is Fushimi Inari Taisha. Its thousands of bright torii gates create a pathway through the forest. Walking through the gates feels like entering another world. Kyoto is also famous for its traditional wooden houses and historic districts. In some areas, visitors can still see architecture that reflects centuries of Japanese history. And then there are Kyoto's gardens. Japanese gardens often emphasize simplicity, balance, natural materials, and careful composition. Instead of trying to control nature completely, the designs often work with it. Kyoto is also strongly associated with the traditional tea ceremony. Tea ceremony is not simply about drinking tea. It is connected with hospitality, mindfulness, movement, architecture, and appreciation of the moment. Kyoto reminds visitors that Japan's beauty isn't always loud. Sometimes it is found in silence. Japanese food. Now let's talk about one of Japan's most famous contributions to the world, food. Japanese cuisine is known for its attention to freshness, presentation, balance, and detail. Perhaps the most famous Japanese dish internationally is sushi. But Japanese cuisine goes far beyond sushi. There is ramen. Hot noodles served in flavorful broth, often accompanied by meat, eggs, vegetables, or other toppings. There is tempura, where ingredients are lightly coated and fried. There is yakitori, grilled chicken served on skewers. There is udon and soba. And there is an enormous variety of regional dishes. Food culture in Japan can change dramatically from one region to another. Even convenience stores have become famous for surprisingly varied and convenient meals. Japanese cuisine also places enormous importance on presentation. A meal isn't only about taste. Color, shape, texture, seasonality, and arrangement can all be part of the experience. This attention to detail is one reason Japanese food has become popular around the world. Cherry BLOSSOMS. Every spring, something extraordinary happens across Japan. Cherry trees begin to bloom. The flowers known as sakura appear in parks, streets, gardens, and countryside landscapes. For a short period, the trees are covered in delicate pink and white blossoms, people gather beneath them for a tradition known as hanami, which literally refers to viewing flowers. Families and friends may gather in parks, eat together, talk, and enjoy the scenery. But cherry blossoms represent more than beauty. Their short blooming period has often been associated with the temporary nature of life. The flowers appear beautifully and then disappear. That temporary quality is part of what makes them so meaningful. For travelers, cherry blossom season is one of the most memorable times to experience Japan. But timing matters, because the flowering period varies by location and weather. Japan's bullet trains. Japan is also famous for its transportation system. And perhaps nothing represents Japanese engineering better than the Shinkansen. The Shinkansen, commonly called the bullet train, transformed high-speed rail travel in Japan. These trains connect major cities across the country at high speeds. But speed isn't the only thing that makes them famous. Japan's rail system is also known for its organization, technology, and efficiency. Imagine arriving at a station, finding your platform, boarding a sleek train, and watching the city quickly disappear behind you. Soon, you're traveling through countryside, mountains, and cities at incredible speed. The Shinkansen has become more than transportation. It has become a symbol of modern Japan, a country where engineering and precision are deeply connected to everyday life. Japanese technology and modern life. Japan has long been associated with technology and innovation. From electronics and automobiles to robotics and advanced manufacturing, Japanese companies and engineers have influenced the modern world. But technology in Japan isn't only about futuristic robots. It's also about small improvements in everyday life. Convenient transportation, highly organized public spaces, automated machines, efficient manufacturing, and products designed with extraordinary attention to detail. This reflects an important idea found throughout Japanese culture. Kaizen. The concept is often translated as continuous improvement. Instead of trying to make everything perfect immediately, the idea is to make things better step by step. This philosophy has influenced Japanese business, manufacturing, and everyday practices. Nature and Japan's 4 seasons. Japan's beauty changes dramatically throughout the year. Spring brings cherry blossoms. Summer brings green mountains, festivals, fireworks, and warm weather. Autumn transforms forests into landscapes of red, orange, and gold. And winter brings snow to northern Japan and mountain regions. Hokkaido, Japan's northernmost major island, is particularly famous for its winter scenery. The country is also home to forests, waterfalls, lakes, beaches, and volcanic landscapes. Japan's relationship with nature can be seen in architecture, gardens, festivals, religion, and art. Instead of separating human life completely from nature, many Japanese traditions emphasize observing and appreciating the natural world. Japanese culture. One of the most interesting things about Japan is the importance placed on respect. Respect for others. Respect for elders. Respect for guests. Respect for public spaces. And respect for craftsmanship. Japanese culture has also produced globally recognized forms of entertainment and art. Anime and manga have become international phenomena. Japanese video games have influenced generations of players. Traditional arts such as calligraphy, tea ceremony, kabuki, and pottery continue to attract people around the world. And perhaps the most fascinating part is that traditional culture hasn't simply disappeared because of modernization. Instead, old and new continue to exist side by side. Japan is a country of contrasts. Ancient temples and futuristic buildings. Quiet gardens and enormous cities. traditional tea ceremonies, and cutting-edge technology, samurai history and modern pop culture, snow-covered mountains and tropical islands. But perhaps Japan's greatest story is not about choosing between the past and the future. It is about finding a way for both to exist together. From the streets of Tokyo to the temples of Kyoto, from Mount Fuji to the snowy landscapes of Hokkaido, from sushi restaurants to ancient shrines, Japan offers travelers an experience that is difficult to find anywhere else. It is a country where every journey can reveal something unexpected. And maybe that's why Japan continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. If you enjoyed this journey through Japan, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more incredible destinations around the world.